You gotta really show me.
You're plugged in to Acute Mania Live. From Shinston, West Virginia, here's your host, Scott Arnold.
I swear I should add applause to that, you know? Thank you. Yeah. Welcome
How you doing?
to Acute Media Live. Hi, guys.
Hi.
You look really... okay, I got to get this out of the... just... This is probably not the last time I'm going to make fun of doctors or something about your name, but you look a lot like doctors, and it's killing me right now. It's like...
This is how
you
doctors
have to
look
be
at
able
me.
to help me. You know?
We're in denial.
One of you should have gone and got a kid's stethoscope and wore that for the show, you know?
We can find that somewhere, I'm sure.
Welcome, guys. It's nice to have you from Long Island.
Long Island. Yep.
Is it as long as they say it is? I've never been up there.
It's too long.
Yeah. With traffic, it's too long. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic up there, I hear.
Yep.
Invisible Rob's here.
Hello.
Hey,
Nice
Rob.
to meet you.
He doesn't like when I touch him, so I'm going to touch him a lot tonight. He's here. What are you doing, Rob? How are you doing? You're on the clock, you said, right? So they're expecting you to be doing something. You are doing something. You're doing the show.
Yes, absolutely.
They don't know that you were once a part of this, and it's an honor to well, it's not an honor to have you back. You're here he's here all the time. He has a key to my house. So
You're welcome.
like I'm sleeping, I wake up and there he is. Like,
That's funny because we do the same thing. It's so crazy.
yeah. Like heavy breathing, you get that too. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, go away. Get a
We're the most
popsicle and leave.
creative.
You know?
That's why we're the
Looking
most
for my
creative.
puffer.
For your puffer?
Yeah.
What? Your puffer? You're puffing?
That's actually how we met. He worked at my house, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
I was tucking him in one night, and yeah.
You're looking through the windows and things?
Hey, he finally woke up. He's like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "You like music too?" And the rest is history.
Yeah, okay. Speaking of history, let's go ahead and tell the folks about how you met. Make sure you have that ready, Rob, because we need that clip as soon as they say something about that. It's really cool how you guys met, and that's why Rob wanted to be do this show with me. But tell the folks how you guys came up with "We're Not Doctors," and then I guess I got a question about your band name and how you came up with that. But we'll start with one thing at a time, I guess, right?
Cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, we met. I mean, personally, we met because both of our wives knew each other and were good friends. So we started hanging out because we had to hang out.
No choice. Yeah.
And then
Could have been worse, I guess, right? I mean,
yeah, well, you're forced to interact with somebody, and then you realize, oh, they're kind of cool, so that's good.
Yeah.
And then
it's a bonus.
we both played in bands, and we were both making music separately, and then
Oh, you were playing in other bands together, not together, but you. So that's something to talk about, I guess.
Yeah.
First time you meet, so that's good. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, I liked what he was doing. He told me he liked what I was doing. I believed him, and
That's good.
and
It's
then
kind of like how me and Rob met. a
Very
little bit.
convincing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
one day we just started sending some files back and forth.
Yeah.
Are you? Are you? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Are you better friends than the wives are now? Like than they ever were?
I mean, they have a longer history. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah, they probably talk about us a lot. So
Probably. Are they watching by chance?
oh, definitely, yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. My son's watching, my wife's watching,
Nice.
my
Well,
2-year-old
well,
daughter's probably watching, even though it's too late. She should go to bed. And
nah,
yeah.
we're good. No, there's a live chat, so you're welcome to ask any questions. You're welcome to make fun of them, and I don't know if they can see it, but I can, and I can tell them what you're saying. So if you would
Awesome.
like to chat,
Very cool.
feel free to chat. It's fun.
Cool.
It's fun.
Awesome.
Now,
Yeah, no,
so what's the 2 a? Are you getting to the 2 a.m. thing now, or am I getting ahead of myself? Yourself. The 2 a.m. where you kind of.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh well, he would write.
oh yeah, okay, yeah. Let me see. It was like 2 a.m.
Yeah, let me get that.
I was looking at the clock. I'm like, it can't be that late already.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. I mean, for me, for some reason, my creativity, a lot of my writing comes typically around like the 11, 12 o'clock hour, and I usually write well into the morning, and it's way too late. So, but that's just when it happens, and and so I would be writing, and it was kind of rare for me to find a person that was writing similarly, like on Logic and just kind of creating songs on the fly, just putting ideas together and putting them together. And sure enough, he was doing something very similar. So then when we started to share ideas collectively, it actually became a really cool connection because we were able to share sessions together, sending each other tracks back and forth. It just made life a lot easier because we're both very, very busy throughout our day pretty much. And to have that availability to just like move back and forth and, sending each other tracks was really cool. So it did help kind of like in the long run to kind of create that creativity flow, so to speak. Typically
You play the same instruments? Do you both play like guitar? Do you both play bass? Anything like that?
We both play guitar, but generally in the music, I've been writing the guitar and the bass, and he's been doing all the vocals, and we kind of tag team the electronic and percussion.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so the go to the 2 a.m. part of this story because this is really really neat.
I guess what really the kind of like I guess birth of the music was that he was like, I have this idea, I'll just send you the Logic file, the project file, and let me know what you think. And this was middle of the night kind of thing. I think I opened it and was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm gonna probably go to sleep imagining what I might do to this, but wake up tomorrow and like maybe put guitar to it. And schedule wise, like I usually have my mornings pretty open, so it's like a little bit the opposite. Like I'll go to bed and have like 4 hours in the morning to work with, and then go to work. So I have this like tight timeline that I'm like, all right, if I don't get anything done in this time frame, I'm not going to do it the rest of the day. So I got to come up with something that's going to work. So I just wrote, I started just like coming up with riffs and to what he had written. It sounded like a full song, honestly, before I even put anything to it. I was like, I feel like I don't know what I'm going to actually be able to do to make this better, but like it's cool. So let me, like, it doesn't have guitar on it. It was all electronic, but I'm like, I guess I'll see what happens if I try to add guitar. I don't want to like step on his parts.
Right? Yeah.
But I threw, but before I knew it, I was writing like this riff that like was very much stepping all over the song in a way that like I didn't intend to do, but it just felt right. And I was like, he might not love that I just like took over the whole song with this like big riff that like kind of just like takes over sonically. But I was like, let's see what he thinks.
Yeah.
And his reaction was good.
Yeah, I was like, it's funny because you create, and I've gone back and forth from electronic music, then I play in a band for a couple of years and go back to electronic, and I'm never really steady in one genre, so to speak. But with the hindrance that I always have with electronic music was I would write it, and then if I was to send it to somebody or something, it was really it's not that it was limited. It's just I didn't know what it could add to it. So I was writing a lot of things on my own, finishing them, and then just saving them, and nothing was happening. Right? I have like a collection of like thousands of tracks that I just write 30 seconds to a minute, and I just give up and go to the next thing. And that's kind of like my problem is I don't really stick to something. Right? So
Yeah.
when he put this gnarly like guitar and bass, very like muddy, grungy sounding style on top of it, it was like an explosion in my, like I just like a light bulb went off because it sounded so unique together, and I felt like it was something that was relatively new sounding to what I've been doing. And that was where it kind of took off and propelled. I was like, okay, this has to be a thing. Whether we just write one or two songs or we just keep going, whatever the case is. And I think the best part about it is that we've always, since we've been doing this not that long now, a little over a year or so, is that we're not overthinking anything. We try not to put our thought too much into what we're doing. We're just doing it to do it and having fun. If it feels right, we keep going with it. If it doesn't, then we just go on to the next thing. And I think that that alone has created so much more space for us to kind of get creative, and so we've kind of tapped into that as things travel along.
That's very similar. Rob's, I know you can't see him. I can. But
he's very handsome.
I really want to see him.
Well, if you really saw like I see him.
Does he have a beard? Does he have a beard? I feel like he has a beard.
Kind of, yeah.
Sounds like he has this scruffy beard going on.
He uses that oil crap that like tree huggers get. Their beards. And he grooms it, he grooms it constantly when he's here. Like he's not doing it right now, but I'll look over there.
He does this thing where he goes like this.
Yes, it's so annoying. So annoying.
It's annoying because you can't grow.
I'm jealous. Yes, I know that's right. Yep, that's right. I can't stand to have anything on my neck. Like
I agree.
I've had this kind of long chin strap is what it's called, Rob. Chin strap.
When you hit puberty, it'll come in. It'll come in good.
Well, plus it comes in gray usually, like yours. This is very gray. But you're older than me, so that's why. Yeah. Hey, Darlene says that Leo and Lily say hello.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Hello.
Hi, Leo.
And my buddy Mark is in the chat. He's down in Austin, Texas. He says, "What's up, y'all?" He doesn't even talk like that. Why is he's? And then he says, "Apologies for my tardiness. YouTube doesn't update me properly." Well, that's their fault because I updated you on text earlier. Updated it. He says, "Do you guys have to scrub in before you jam?" I don't know what that means.
Yes. Yeah, it's what you do. Well, I mean, we're not doctors, so it's kind of like, I mean, really.
You're definitely not doctor.
We take the scrubs off because we don't want to be affiliated with that at all.
We actually do the opposite. We get dirtier before we jam.
That was over my head, wasn't it?
Real dirty.
We crawl around on the ground and get sneezed on, and then we start jamming.
Yeah.
That's similar, very similar to what me and Rob do.
Yeah, I mean, it helps the flow. It breaks the ice. And you're...
He said no. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I prefer to write music with a mild fever.
Wasn't there something you guys said about there was some kind of you built a studio in the middle of the night or in the garage, or wasn't there something like that?
Yeah, I have my garage, which it's shared. My wife has an eBay business, so she's. So
what's your address again?
Yeah, my address, by the way, for anybody's interested. No, but it's I have it's kind of like a pseudo studio in the garage where I have my monitors, I have my keyboard, all that fun stuff, like guitars and stuff. And it's gotten smaller over the years because having kids and everything started to kind of get me into a corner. So now I have this little piece.
The kids are getting too big to fit in the room with all the equipment.
Exactly. They have a real problem. They're just inflating nonstop. Yeah. But I just I have this. Effect. Yeah, exactly. It happens in New York. But I have this little tiny corner, and it's my studio. I call it my studio. I'm proud to say that. But essentially, you really can't fit more than like a half a person in there.
It counts. It counts.
Yeah, I'm usually standing in there with 1 foot and like 1 foot out the door. But that's where it's been. And I realized because when you get into the whole electronic thing, you want more gear, you need space, you want like a nice keyboard, you want a big desk, you want all this shit. You don't need all that shit. You just need what you want. Like, you need a couple of things here and there and you're good. Like, it's okay. So I think I'm accepting the fact that I need less to do these things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess this day and age, that makes me sound like a freaking 80-year-old, but this day and age, you don't, everything. Well, for example, Rob's guitar effects are all on the computer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same.
And so you don't need a whole freaking big board it's like a suitcase you got to take everywhere. Yeah. You pick a computer with you,
Mm-hmm.
I used to be really against like the digital.
Me too.
It was very.
And look at you both.
Yeah, it was a hard transition.
And look at you both now.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Well, it's interesting because what got me away from that was working with Andrew. It was just like we were like, well, who cares how the sounds are evolving as long as they sound good. Doesn't matter where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So and also we never really knew, again, going in if it was going to be a thing. So we were like, we're just messing around. Like, we're making music and it's for fun, and who cares how it's being created? And I think, but I think letting go of that has made for much better music than anything I had previously had written. So I feel pretty good about that.
Now, why do you have to proclaim that you're not doctors? Are you really not doctors in real life?
Yeah.
Real life, or like
Question.
pretend or something? Like
Yeah.
this is pretend, right?
I feel like because our music really sounds like it deserves a PhD,
Yeah.
and that we feel like we don't want to
There
pull
you go.
people.
I think
We
it
had
does.
this notion. We did have a couple of people over to listen to music, and as they're listening, they were like, "Listen, can you take a look at my elbow? Like it's really been hurt." I'm like, "Look,
Seriously?
it's the music. Like don't get
Oh,
we don't know anything about medical. Like we're just musicians here." So
Well, maybe like once you start like touring and things, and you start the circle pits and shit, people are gonna get hurt. They just always do. Some people are just
Right.
dumb and get hurt.
right.
Like, their legs are twisted in weird ways, and that's
Exactly.
just funny. Really.
Don't come looking for us.
We might have-
because we don't give a shit.
There's the doctors right there. No wait, never mind. It says we're not doctors.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
We're also going to have an album called We're Not Lawyers.
right. That's probably exactly.
Oh,
We
they got
provide
something.
legal
You
advice.
guys got it. That's what's up.
We're trying to rid any responsibility that we might have. in these
Anything.
circumstances, Yeah.
We're not tax preparers. That'd be good.
Yeah. Well, that's another one too.
Especially for like this time of year.
Right.
That
We're
was-
not the Easter Bunny. We're not Santa Claus. I mean,
Right.
it sells itself, really.
We're not affiliated with anything. is
Right.
basically-
Yeah.
Don't let your kid. Yeah. Exactly.
That's the farewell album. We're not affiliated with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't even listen to us.
We're not alive.
Don't listen to us.
There's
Mind
there's
your-
paragraphs upon paragraphs in the chat right now, and it's hopefully Mark will help me out with this stuff. But what does he say? Mark, it's okay. You don't have to quit apologizing. It's fine. I didn't even know you were late. I was late.
I mean, to be fair, his name has sorrow in it, so
Yeah.
Yeah. That's his band name. Like Sorrow is his band. Yeah, they're actually going to be on in May. In May.
very cool.
Nice. Very cool.
Let's see. Natalie Lovino, it's all one word, says, surprised Andrew can even fit his feet in the studio. Is that your wife? Is that your wife?
Oh, that's actually my sister. I think.
Oh, okay. Hello,
Yeah.
sister. Hey, sister.
Yeah. She's jealous because she's not on a podcast right now. But
Does she do any, like, is she creative? Because, like, you don't have to be in a
no,
band.
she
or
says she
anything.
is. Yeah, she says she is.
Well, she says
No.
she is, but, like, is she, though? Like, you could tell me,
Yeah. No, she's definitely creative.
Like, how? Like, can she do like, magic tricks or anything?
She draws some pictures, like nice pictures, like flowers.
Well, that's-
and
I mean-
hair. No, yeah, it's good stuff. No, she is a tattoo artist. She's a tattoo
Oh,
artist.
sweet.
And so is this guy too, by the way.
Nice. Well, shit. We should do a tattoo show and people like laying around with their shirts off and stuff.
I like tattoos.
I mean, I've had that idea all along, tattoos or not, really. But let's see what
Yeah.
else. Leo wants to know why he couldn't come over and sit in the person's chair that you recorded your first comedy skit in. That's a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
in one
That
sentence.
shit right there.
What is that?
That's
Whose
not a
comedy skit
backstory.
was that?
Oh, we gotta talk about the
So
comedy sketches.
we
didn't even talk about
do. I don't know if you saw our YouTube, but we also have some sort of tangential videos that are comedy sketches, I guess you would call them. They're just us, like, kind of like, I guess, I don't know. We just decided to create sketches. It kind of came hand in hand with the conversations we were having with the music. We kept coming up with sketch ideas by accident. So I was like, we're gonna keep coming up with the ideas. Maybe we should do them and see what they're like. See if
Do you have one right now that you could do for us, or maybe I could play one of them? Here in a
Yeah,
little
I mean
while.
these are little. The one she's talking about is it's called three chairs.
chairs,
And that one
Good
was
luck explaining that.
it was a whole thing about us trying to meet up for the first time to work together as opposed to
Files.
separately, because so we were like, we're gonna meet up together, and then
Yeah.
his realization was that I had a very strange workspace. I had a 3-chair system in front of my computer that I would use as a bench so that I could move from side to side.
If you were expecting company, is what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't want to explain it to him, and the whole video is us just kind of like having this awkward exchange of him trying to figure out why I'm like this and me not wanting to talk about it.
Right.
And
Did you figure it out though? Did you figure it out why he was like that?
I eventually give up some information.
Yeah, the ending really gives it away, but it was actually one of the more like fun ones that we did. There's a couple out there that we have, but that one for some reason just always gets me when I watch it. I just think it's the funniest thing in the world.
It
I'm
actually,
gonna check that out.
it holds up at least for the last 3 months that it's been online, so that's good.
I will check it out.
I
I
don't
always,
think
always
you
wait
can
until
get
like after I interview somebody. I always wait and then go check out their videos and all that stuff. I don't like to do that first. I like to,
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I will definitely check that out and do subscribe and all that stuff that you're supposed to do. Like and share and you know how it is.
Awesome.
By the way, before I started, I had 669, which 69 is a good number, but 669 is kind of like you're teetering on the next 10, subscribers. So somebody needs to be 670 if I don't like refresh while I'm on the thing. But yeah, hit subscribe and stuff.
see.
You got 670, man. You're
yeah.
at 670.
I see
Woo!
it.
You have a horn? You got a
there
horn
it is.
sample?
They were quiet. I told them to hush earlier.
Very nice.
Goofy.
We get anything for that?
Natalie says that her mom says she's talented, so that's good.
Oh, okay.
Approval.
Mom's doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but yeah.
Is Darlene the mom?
Darling,
She.
I'm
she's
confused.
the mom.
There's
She's
so
my
many people
wife,
with the
but
same
she-
last names in here.
Darlene's my wife, and
Oh, okay. Sorry.
but she's my son's mom.
Got you. Oh, well, that's what I meant.
hey mom.
That's what I meant.
I think. Yeah.
Darlene's all over the place in here, so you have to just.
That's normal.
Might
Yeah.
have to,
Very
might have
normal.
to summarize what she said.
Very normal.
That is the epitome.
Yeah.
Don't freak Leo out, Dom. He's going to be asking me why you said you're not alive, and then in result asking if he's alive. That's true. Yeah, you don't want to get
Give
into
my
that.
son an existential crisis.
Awkward conversations. You don't want to do that yet.
yeah.
Not yet.
To be
How old is he? How old is your son? How old is your son?
Oh, my son. He's 6 years old.
Okay, yeah, you don't want to get into the weird, awkward conversations yet with him.
Yeah.
That's the perfect time to start wondering whether you're gonna. Never
Yeah.
mind. Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, no,
he's still watching,
He's,
right?
yeah,
So-
he's definitely still watching because he doesn't go to bed until 12 o'clock at night. But yeah, no, he's good. He's the questions that he asks are that of like a 11-year-old. So,
Yeah.
Good, he's smart.
and he's gonna get a 11-year-old answer.
Very observable. He's very observant.
Urban young man.
Terrible with words. Observant. I don't.
He also
For
wants
some
to-
reason, they're talking about Fight of the Conchords in the chat now, and I don't know what's going on with that. But
Oh, she was
Oh,
just
he's referring to the sketches that we do.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says you're also Mormons.
No.
That's pretty interesting, I guess. No, we're not Mormons. You're gonna text her right now. Why did you tell him that? He also wants to know when you're gonna put him in a video.
I guess whenever. I mean, the next
Now.
video.
Now,
You can right now. Tell him to
do it.
join.
Yeah.
Drive him on over if you can.
send him the Zoom link. Just send him the Zoom link. Come on, this.
There you go. Not a bad
All
idea.
right. What do you say we go ahead and listen to a song? Because for the folks like Mark that may have not heard your music yet, it gives them a chance to hear you and kind of understand what we're talking about. It's really good stuff. I don't want to go into influences yet, or like we talked about before we went live, but I kind of want to listen to it first, and then we maybe go into that stuff. If that's
Yeah.
cool. Is there anything you want to say about this before we listen to it, like lyrics?
Which
lyrics?
song? Which song we start?
Which one do you want to do first? It's up to you guys.
Let's.
Surprise me.
Yeah. I mean.
Let's
I'm
do
okay.
drag. I like drag
Drag.
Drag.
a lot. Yeah.
Cool.
What are the lyrics about in this one?
I mean, to be honest, that's a really good question because I do a lot of my lyrics are stream of consciousness. So I whatever feels and sounds right, I put in there. I mean, sometimes it's words that just the way they feel when I say it, they get put in. And it's taken me some time. A lot of these songs, like Drag, for example, it's still trying to learn what it is exactly that I'm talking about. But I think it definitely has to do with some recent struggles that I've had. Some things that I had to work through in the last few years. So, that's pretty much where it's coming from. It's just like the feeling of kind of breaking through that repetitive motion of feeling like you're stuck.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you both sing on the songs, or is it just you?
not yet.
I lip sync to it, but yeah. I mean, that song in particular, he kind of created almost entirely, and then without the guitars, obviously, and bass, but like this was one of those songs that like was structurally pretty much what it was as soon as he sent it to me. And I like he even said, he was like, maybe we should do this or that, and I was like, I honestly think it should just stay the way it is. I feel like it's good as is. We tried other things, we tried expanding it, and it just shrunk back down to exactly what it was. So it just felt like the right song to release this year. In particular, this was the first song we released this year, and we have a bunch of other ones, but this one felt just very much its own thing right away.
I'm glad you released it. I'm pretty sure it's the very first song I heard, and
awesome.
that's what drew me in. I was like, and they're not doctors, so we're good here.
We 1-2 punch, baby. That's it. That's what we
That's
do
right.
in New York.
No controversies.
This is We're Not Doctors with Drag. Check it out.
Like Palm Tree Girls.
I was just telling Rob about the range of your voice. My goodness. I was like, we might have to borrow him for something because my voice doesn't get that high. I try, but then it sounds like it's really awful, you know.
I just embrace the awkward high pitched voice, you know, and when you triple track things, it makes it sound high pitched, but also gives it some punch.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
I don't do good when I describe things. Mark knows this too when he co-hosts with me. I just don't. It's just my reaction is You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's good shit.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Awesome.
Good shit. Now don't tell the 6-year-old about the word shit.
He already knows the word shit.
Okay, cool.
He already knows. It's okay.
That's about the extent that I don't try to cuss on the show. I don't mind if other people do. It doesn't really, but you never know who's watching.
Right.
Of course, but he's too young to watch this show. According to YouTube, it's 13 and up. I don't know why. I don't know why they have their ages like that. It's strange to me because like usually you would think it would be like
Is it-
18 and up.
Is it PG-13? Because he's parental guidance. He should be good.
Right.
He's good. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. I will behave as best as I can.
Okay, man, be free. It's all good.
Yeah.
Best as I can. I'm not a doctor, okay?
That's right.
Can't be held accountable for
That's, see?
anything.
Now you get it. Now
exactly-
you get it.
It's catchy. You know
If
what I
you
mean?
already say you're not a doctor, people are like, okay, let him do whatever he wants. He
Leave
wants
him
to punch a
alone.
hole in the wall. He wants. To
I feel
run.
like I need to do that, like when I go to Applebee's. You know, that way people don't hit me up to do the Heimlich.
They'll be like, yeah. They'll be like,
Exactly.
sir, you have to pay your bill. No, I'm not a doctor. It's okay. Oh,
I'm not a banker. Sorry.
Have a great day. Yeah. Exactly.
You know,
See?
that's-
Win-win.
I mean, maybe we should change our name to we're not or we are something. No, that would be dumb because we're not anything.
What are we?
We can't take their idea though. That's freaking.
We'll get a license plate that says "Ass Man," like on.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That would be good. Now, this is where I usually tell the butt sex story, but Rob's not involved in this, so don't get any weird thoughts. Well,
Can I believe you?
this is something you might have to explain to the 6-year-old, but it's okay. He's gonna get it at some point in his life. A buddy of mine that he doesn't live around here anymore, but we played music together, and I was like, we were talking about like being like a cover band or doing something like that. Sex Pistols was one of them, and so was Butthole Surfers. I was like, well, then we can call ourselves Butt Sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
That you make bumper stickers. I love butt sex. You know, it sells itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But
And also, that was his nickname in high school.
Not mine. His Coley's. Yeah,
I had a lot of friends.
lots, loads of
Very,
friends.
very close friends. Very close friends that would welcome home.
Very close friends.
Yeah.
Very close friends.
Nice.
We hung out a lot.
Very cool.
Why do you make fun of me on here, Rob?
It's so easy.
You're so easy. Okay,
I try to be.
I'm talking to myself here. Look at all this. So was that what that noise was? You spilling? You not spilling your drink on your keyboard?
We're not spilling our drinks.
You're not.
Yeah.
We don't spill.
You're not waiters, right?
Yeah.
We deny everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could be a good name for the album too. We deny everything.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, yeah.
But then you'd be giving it away for future.
Yeah, I
Things.
want everyone to fully understand.
yeah.
You don't want them to get it like right away because then they'll quit following you. I will never quit following you, by the way.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
No, I love this music. It's really good. This is right, and that's one thing when me and Rob were talking when the music was playing, and I was like, "This is right up your alley." And he goes, "Yeah." And then the drums that it's like a sloppy snare, but it's right. It's not sloppy. It's it's very electronic-y.
Yep.
I'm going to say that's a word. I'm not an English teacher. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's funny because I mean he really does all the EQ and the original song when we write it. I mean, a lot of that stuff is all within Logic. I mean, aside from his guitar and bass parts and the vocals that we're doing obviously on our own, but the snare hits, everything that he goes through, and there's like a science to it. I'm not at that level, but he'll send me, this is take 73. The snare is slightly pitched down slightly, and there's a little bit more of a muffled sound at the end. Let me know what you think.
It's the same thing to me.
Sounds fucking great.
He does the same thing to me. He's like,
Yeah, yeah.
well, wait, I got 16 parts of this. I'm like, what are you talking about?
And when you dive in, so deeply, it's like it's you almost like, where is that change? But then when you hear the big picture, after all those little things come together, it's like boom, and the song just like it becomes its own thing.
Yeah, I think that it could become an obsession, like an unhealthy obsession, but like when it's your own music, it's hard not to be that way. And like you're kind of like, it's like I'm sitting there listening to it on speakers in my car a lot, but also like I'm like holding the iPhone also like next to my head and I'm moving it around the room. I'm like, can I still hear the snare when it's over here?
You can't see him because he's invisible, but he's nodding his head.
Yeah, yeah.
If somebody was listening to this song and trying to show their friend on their iPhone, is it going to sound good, or are they going to be like, what the hell am I listening to?
Right.
Like, because that's how people listen to stuff now. You can't expect everyone to listen to it on the best stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I want it to sound good everywhere.
I mean, it took me a while, kind of circling back to using digital instruments, like you're saying, it took you a long time to get used to that. We were getting ready to release a song, and I had my drum set at the time. I've recently, well, not recently, I sold it a couple years ago, but I was like, well, why use those perfect drums on there, on those perfect programmed drums, I have a drum set right here. We can just, and he's like, it doesn't work like that. He's like, you can't just record the drum set. You have to know what you're doing to really get every single element of the cymbal, the toms, all that stuff, and make it sound right. He's like, it's a headache, trust me. And I fought him forever on that, and finally I heard it with the drums that he programmed for the song, and I was like, this is shit, like this is badass. And it is perfect because it's never going to be off time, but it keeps you honest as a musician too, because you have to. That's the tempo. You can't rush. You can't drag. So.
You get better at recording to a metronome for sure if you're recording digitally also, because like you said, it just makes sense to use the grid that's there. We do though intentionally, move things off the grid a little bit after once like the song is written and it's like structurally there. I will move like drum hits off of the grid just a little bit, just to give it some air and like just movement, so that it doesn't sound like perfection, and then like the guitar and bass and vocals are organic sounding. You want to make sure everything kind of feels like it's in the same space.
Yeah.
So that's what I think that's my intention when I'm doing it.
Yeah, you want it to breathe.
Yeah, exactly. Humanize
Make
it.
it sound like somebody was hitting it.
Yeah.
You're going to be close to that. Even
Would
if
that be like a reverbish kind of effect?
No.
Reverb helps. Reverb helps.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, like
Make it sound like it's in a room, I guess.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like for example, on drag, what I had mentioned to him when we were doing the drums, I was like, the drums I'm thinking of are like very similar to In Utero. When you listen to the drums on In Utero from Nirvana, like that very reverb, real sounding, raw room sounding drums, where it's just like it was recorded one take, just like even if it was clipping a little bit, there's some distortion in there. I that's what we wanted, and like he nailed it, and like it. You can tell in the song, it's just like. It just made the song become this whole other color, and
that's what I was,
right.
that whether it's a snare or whatever, like I don't know what it was, but just that, and it really makes the song too.
That's
it's kind of like a Nine Inch Nails kind of beat, kind of feel.
Touch of humanity in it.
Yeah,
exactly. Humanize.
Let it breathe.
Yeah.
I got okay. Real quick, this is funny. This is actually for you, Rob. Where's it? Okay, the children want to see the Invisible Man.
Of course,
There's a lot of people that want to see the Invisible.
Listen, man.
It's true.
You can't disappoint a child.
We can't get rid of the invisible part of Rob. Yeah.
That's one of my hobbies.
Wow. Natalie says she just listens to drum loops all day. That's kind of cool, I guess. If you're into that kind of thing, whatever. But
Natalie is a silly person.
I think she's a Mormon, she said. So that's
Real wacky.
now we know.
She's a wackadoodle.
The later it gets, she gets wacky.
You wackadoodle.
Now we know.
Wacky noodle.
Go to bed.
Children want to see the Invisible Man. That's like the quote of the night. The Invisible Man.
That's
I don't know if I would go so far as man, but now they're going Rob in the chat. He's invisible. There's nothing I can do, but I'm here.
There you go.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, really, that's true. You trust me. He's very scary. Tell the kids that. Very terrifying. It's like Slender Man, only he's not that slender.
Yeah.
He's not fat, but he's not that slender either.
More like the homeless man. Like
Yeah, he's very dirty looking.
Almost slender, man.
I mean, he's got his work uniform on.
What's the work? What's the? I feel like
He cleans things, but he's very dirty all the time.
I am a janitorial engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. What? Is that what they call you? Is that your title?
That's what I call me.
Did you make your own badge that has your name and your picture on
We
it?
don't need no bag.
You don't need a badge.
You
don't need a stinking bag.
You just walk into a school and they're like, "Who are you?" And you're like, "I work here."
I'm an engineer. Back off.
She said,
And then I don't even have to show ID. They're like, no, that fits. He fits the profile.
She said, turn the camera. I can't. He's right here. If I turn the camera, you'll just see the wall. Duh.
You're just carrying garbage
camera.
into the room instead of taking it out.
Darlene, you're silly. You're silly. He's right here. You can't see him? I see him. You guys don't have the New York accent. I don't hear it because I know a few people are from New York, and I don't hear the.
I'm curbing mine a lot.
He has more one than I do.
I'm curbing my accent a lot, I think.
Why?
I don't know.
It gets old. I don't know.
I don't know why I fucking do it. I do it anyway.
Yeah. What do you mean? I don't see. I can't do it. They don't have to do it. Can you do it, Rob?
Actually, if you watch this, I actually have a point of reference.
Comfortable.
Yes.
Comfortable.
You knew you said it. You knew
Oh
it.
yeah, comfortable.
I said
You look so
comfortable.
comfortable.
So comfortable.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
There's a band. I'll let you kind of reiterate the story, but you know what I'm about to talk about. The Davison Brothers. He grew up with these kids. They're not kids anymore, but you know,
They're not kids.
they've played the Grand Ole Opry, you know, in their band, so they've gotten pretty far with their stuff, and it's country. But Rob grew up in the same neighborhood. I'll let you.
Oh, we went to the same high school together.
Yeah, grew up together, and Rob doesn't talk like that. But when they're interviewed, they're honkies.
They
you know?
have developed a twang. Which
Yeah.
I guess it'd be more of a marketing thing, I guess.
I think sometimes
true,
accents
actually.
you do have to lean into an accent. Like I think there's some people that move to a place and they take on the accent immediately, and then there's people that could, like my uncle has lived in Florida for 30 years and he still sounds like he's from the Bronx. Like so,
The best neighbor you can have, I'm sure, right?
yeah.
Uncle John?
Uncle John.
My uncle Hugh.
Oh, Hugh. I know you.
Where's the toilets?
Hey, I know Hugh.
I know Hugh. That's terrific.
Now, are you guys like born up there in New York? Like you?
Yeah,
In
we're
the Bronx. No, I mean on Long Island. On Long Island? Were you born on Long Island?
Yep.
yeah. I'm a little more east. He was a little more west.
So you didn't know each other. You didn't know each other at all until the wives united you. I guess.
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah. We might have never met.
Yep.
Especially if you wouldn't have married that person.
Right.
Yeah. That's very true.
We're getting heavy with it. We're getting deep in this conversation.
Yeah. Let's expand on
It
that.
makes you want.
Let's expand on this.
Expand on that.
Your accents are not.
I'm not Dr. Phil.
But the accents, y'all's accents are like
Y'all's.
non-existent.
You don't ever say y'all's.
Do you think when
Don't
you
show
say
off.
non-existent, do you think we sound like default Americans? Is that what that means?
Default Americans. Are we
Yeah.
Siri?
Sounds
Are we Siri to you?
Like television American
I'm
accent?
not sure if I've got like a twang or anything, but
You do got a twang.
You got
for sure.
You got something.
You have a twang for sure.
You got something.
Do we though? I mean, do we have any
I know you're not. I know you're not from New York. That's all. I know.
Both do, yeah.
We do. Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
good. We got some. We're authentic then.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. It's subtlety, but it's there.
Do you guys say roof or roof?
Roof.
See, we say roof.
creek and crick.
That's well. I don't even say crick.
Lost crick.
I say creek.
Creek.
There's words that I don't say enough to know how I say it.
What about
Here's a good one that I think is just solely West Virginia. Buggy. Shopping cart. Buggy is.
a buggy? Yeah.
We don't say shopping cart. When the sign that says please put shopping carts back, nobody does because it doesn't say buggy.
We don't know what that means.
You guys have shopping carts everywhere, probably.
And plus, most of us can't read anyway, so yeah. There's shopping carts that go up and down the road. The wind takes them. And, yeah.
Well, here the difference is in New York it says shopping carts, and we still don't put them away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
There's a guy on, well, he's been on like every platform, like YouTube, and he definitely has an Instagram. It's like the cart Nazi or something like that. Have you ever watched that? But he'll like hide it with his camera like in this shopping center, and people don't put their carts back. He goes up and puts a magnet on their car and says, you got tagged by the cart Nazi. And people go like attack him and shit, because it's crazy. But it's so funny. He's like, you didn't put your cart back. You didn't put your cart back. He just says it over and over again, and like blocks them from leaving. I'm like, there's some of this is like illegal, but it's so funny. And the cops come and like, what the cops can't do anything. It's private property.
My favorite is the guy that goes around to the parked vehicles and has signs up, and it'll say like little penis parking. You know what I mean? And they'll put it up in front.
I've never been to those parking lots,
in
Rob.
front of the.
The little penis parking lot?
Yeah, I mean, he just puts like the signs up while they're in there shopping, and then they come.
Oh.
got
And so they don't see it. Yeah, that's a good idea,
They
actually.
come out and get all pissy about it. Yeah.
And he just hides in the bushes. I would do that too. Yeah,
Bush.
the bushes. Yeah, the bushes. Gosh, they were great presidents, weren't they? Okay, I don't do politics on here, so let's go away from that. Who was texting me? Don't people know I'm on the show?
They're like,
Mark,
did you
Mark,
go
Mark, it was Mark. Mark's in
Where's
there.
the link?
Yeah, where's the link?
What is it?
They're like, where's the link? Did you?
Oh
go-
yeah. Where's the link? The children want to see the Invisible Man. Where's the link? Well, you can't see him on the link either. So I
Yeah.
don't think you can. You guys can't see him, right?
No, I could see him on my other camera.
What? I have another camera in here.
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious.
We're not doctors, but
We're
we
not
are
doctors,
spies.
but we do.
They're not. Yeah, they are spies in ways. Yeah, certain ways. What is this? I don't have time for that. I don't have time to read all that. That's crazy talk. Report a problem. Yeah, Messenger is so stupid. You guys do Facebook at all anymore? I know everybody used to do it.
I open it on occasion, but I don't really do anything on it.
I started this show on here because I knew how to use Facebook Live at the time. Now it's like a freaking all kind of things you got to press and check mark. And luckily, Meta owns Instagram and Facebook, so all my posts just automatically go to the Acute Mania Lab page on Facebook.
Yeah.
But like, this was a Messenger thing, and I dropped my phone there, and then when I picked it up, it said report a technical problem. Just because the phone fell. Like, you're not my dad, like. What the hell? But it's so funny because people get in like horrible arguments on Facebook, and like it's like people they grew up with, and they don't ever talk to them ever again just because of a comment that says to comment on Facebook. Like
Yeah.
I think the funniest thing is imagining what that person's doing in between writing really mean stuff to somebody. Like, they're like
donating to charity or something.
They're like,
Yeah.
they're with their family,
Going to church.
shopping. They're
Yeah.
like
Can you
cleaning,
help with that bag, man?
cleaning a little spit off their like baby, and
Yeah.
they're praying for
Put
others.
that buggy away for you.
and then they go on their phone and they're like,
Buggy, see there, it's rubbing off.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Rubbing off.
I will say it is fun to troll people on there. Just to
Oh, I mean,
I get it.
but it's funny because like people post on there, and then get mad when people comment that something that they don't like.
Yeah.
But the point of them posting it is because they wanted people to react to what they posted.
You know what it is, though? A lot of people just want the affirmation that their opinion's right.
Yeah.
That's all they want. They don't
The
want
worst was during COVID, though. The worst was during COVID. I had a lot of fun during COVID with that because nobody knew what was going on. Nobody had the answer, But everybody got pissed off at everybody. It was like everybody was at war with each other because nobody knew what was going on. But they were right. They didn't like what you said, but they're right. And then you wouldn't like what they said. I mean, it was hilarious. But that's the point where I was like, all right, Instagram's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no TikTok. There's no. Rob's a TikTok maniac over here.
We kind of we have a TikTok, but still getting used to the idea of using it. I don't know.
I'm very bad at social media, period.
I kind of like YouTube the most. I like YouTube, and I like
YouTube Shorts are good.
and I like Instagram.
Great, yeah.
I feel like two platforms is pretty good. I don't know. Most people are on those, so
Yeah.
I had a guy on yesterday.
there's MySpace too.
Yeah, MySpace is still
yeah.
up. I don't think Tom can be your friend. I don't think he's a part of it. But
Yeah, we do a lot of promoting on LiveJournal.
what is
And-
that?
no.
It's like
Is that,
original.
is that one of those like?
One of those old-
It's probably like
LiveJournal.
2002, maybe. I guess.
Do you remember Napster?
Yeah, we're on there.
yeah, we're,
Yeah, we're not Napsters, but we're on there. No, I had a guy on yesterday from
Scott's on Grinder.
I am sometimes when you're not here. When you're not here, I am.
Wherever we can get listens, man. If it's Grinder, I don't give a shit.
I mean, I get on there and just like jam out. I'm like, I'm grinding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to change the platform.
Yep.
I'm trying to bring it back.
One grind at a time.
One dude at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny. Here, I got something. I had to find that thing. Yeah, I had to look up the right thing. Okay. No, I had a guy on yesterday. That he does like reaction videos.
Mm-hmm.
His name's well, he goes by Let's Go Craigo. His name's Craig, or Craigo, I guess. But where was I going with this story? I was rudely interrupted by your Grinder comment.
No, your Grinder. Yeah.
He's not on Grinder. I know that. Well, I don't know that, but I don't know. I'll think of it in a minute.
YouTube being cool.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened. I don't know what happened with that. Okay, all right. Let's listen to Cloud Spacer,
Okay.
and then we'll do the offstage segment because it's fun. We might need some children to plug their ears for one question. The rest of them are pretty clean for the most part. It's a clean question, in a way, but well. I got to ask you though because it's appropriate. I think I kind of gauge the guest and to see if they'd be okay with that question, and then ask them or not. But I think I've asked everybody up to this point the same question. But they're really good, and there's no right answers to any of this stuff. But they're would you rather, so you got to pick either or. So if you don't like the first one or the second one, too bad. You got to pick one of them. That's the right answer, I guess. Is you have to pick one of them. If that makes any sense. That's the only rule, right? But I don't make rules.
He said there was no rules one before though.
Well, I don't make rules either. I love this. You guys should come on every show, and so we can say that we don't. I'm not a podcast host. I don't know. I'm a video cast host.
I don't know what the rules are, but we could definitely come back.
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be an everyday thing.
Well, I'll hit you up.
We have no songs.
We'll get this going for sure. Okay. What's Cloud Spacer about? Is it about space the space in between clouds? You know, that part.
Again, like it's really hard. I mean, for me, lyrically speaking, I think that again, I had a lot of turmoil in the last couple of years. I think these songs specifically, like the last few singles that we've released, had a lot to do with just understanding. It took me a lot of time. It took me until my late 30s to really understand how I operate. I mean, I still don't really even fully understand myself 100%, but I think these songs are really helping me kind of let that out and let me understand like what it is that, how I interact with my own thoughts and how, things, I had a very hard time, just learning how to be myself, and it's taken a long time to do that. Now, thankfully with the music and lyrics, it's helping me kind of overcome those things. And Cloud Space is just one of those songs where, again, it's feeling like I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable in my own skin.
I hear that a lot, with bands writing about mental illness, just something about mental illness, and I think that's important, and people gravitate towards that, and it makes everybody feel better.
Yeah,
and they kind of draw their own ideas for what you're talking about. It might be something personal for you, and they can relate to that just by something that was personal to them at some point. And that's
I
cool.
mean, I like it's funny because I was just watching an interview with I think it was Billy Corgan. I forgot who he was being interviewed by, but he was talking about how, and I forget the song that he was mentioning, but for the longest time the fans would come up to him, oh, I love that one track that you have, it's amazing, one of my favorite tracks in Smashing Pumpkins. He's like, oh, and they're like, what's it about? He's like, oh, it's about an ex-girlfriend, and this and that. Like, oh, it's amazing, I'm totally relating to it. And then he said years later, he was listening to the track, and he realized that it wasn't about that at all. And he was like, it actually had to do with his mother, and his relationship with his mother and how that was in his life growing up. And so I think sometimes it takes time for you to like really understand what these things that you're writing about, because the music is drawing it out such a raw feeling that you might not fully get what you're putting on paper until years down the line,
That's true. I've never thought of it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I mean, for me, I've never had luck explaining my songs to people. And sometimes, when I first started writing, I would just try to like come up with the thing I thought it was at first. And I stopped doing that because I felt like they were so hollow. The explanations were not really there. So, but stream of consciousness, like Kurt Cobain's my favorite writer ever. And so his stream of consciousness lyrics and the way he wrote was just so real and raw, and it didn't have to make sense. It didn't have to sound pretty, but it was there,
Yeah, that's a very good perspective. I haven't really, because I write stuff for our music, and I try to explain it to Rob, and he's like, sometimes I can't explain it to him. I know what it's about in my head, and if it's very complicated, it's probably better that I don't try to explain it to somebody, because at least I feel better. Because it's therapy. Music's therapy, regardless if you're writing lyrics and if you're playing guitar, it's therapy. If you're playing bass, it's therapy.
It's very cool. Music is a very cool thing.
I like it. I think
I'm not a musician, but music is very cool.
I'm gonna get back on that.
I'm gonna circle back to that. I hate people that say that. Circle back.
Let's circle back.
Well, let's put a pin in it.
Yeah,
put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it. Yeah.
Put it in the parking lot.
That sounds like a New York thing. Put a pin in it.
Yeah,
I can't do it very good, but maybe you can.
Hey, I'm
New York's like,
walking
put a knife
here.
in it.
Yeah. Say it again, Rob.
I'm walking here. Get you beat up there saying that.
Well, no, not if you're around them. They'll take it for you, I'm sure. All right, let's get into space. You guys ready?
Do it.
Jackie will tell you a little bit about Offstage before we listen. This is Cloud Spacer by We're Not Doctors. If I can find the button. There it is.
Unfiltered, unexpected. We're going off stage next.
house with the window slammed shut. Broken glass, so my view is obstructed. A dance from innocence to give an illusion. Abide by all the rules and find a solution. Make your mark as the rivalry dies. Met together with the dissonant sides. Word gets around and I'm wound up. I took my time and all the glue stuck. Yeah. So pucker up and get the real one. Take a look at those emotions. Yeah. 'Cause I sense a little bit of vibration. Justify within or out location. Taking everything I hold to a standard. Trouble sipping, I rewind the tape and gander. Nothing's on but all the static pollution drives me in a daze and leaves me for confusion. Word gets around and I'm wound up. I took my time and all the good stuff. So pucker up and get the real one. Take a look at those emotions. Yeah. 'Cause I sense a little bit of vibration. Justify within or out location.
I knew we
That's both for the song and for Invisible Rob.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You're welcome.
Hopefully the kids are still awake.
You look like one of our best friends. Like, you look so much like him.
That's nice of them to say, Rob. Robert? Robert?
It's Davo. No, it's Davo now.
Quit touching my leg. Quit touching my leg.
Officially, Dave.
Darlene says,
Dave's not
he's alive in the chat.
Instead of Invisible Rob.
He is a real person. It's not an AI. He's a real guy.
Hell
Wait,
yeah.
sometimes he's kind of like an AI.
I'm real. You can ask my ex-wife.
I don't want to ask her. You can ask her. I'm not asking her.
Nice.
I'm not an ex-wife. No, that doesn't work. Never mind.
Nope.
Okay. All right. This is that's not what I meant to click on, but that's okay. You guys escaped the segment I did for a year and a half. Thankfully, I don't do it anymore. But I called it the Wiener segment.
Oh.
Nice.
yeah. Rob loved it.
Live on
It's no
YouTube.
surprise.
It was sponsored by Grinder. No, I'm kidding. No, I had a buddy that lived here too long, and I can say that because I'm definitely sure he's not watching. I don't even care if he is, but he he has a big fetish for hot dogs.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And
I love hot dogs.
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I enjoy a hot dog here and there, but like he loves wieners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Loves them.
I know what you mean.
So I had a band on one time when he was living here, and he said, "Ask him where I can get a good hot dog." I think it was Dallas or something. They lived, and I was like, "I don't care about that," but he did. But he was worse than Rob. Like he didn't want to be on the camera or be heard. So I was like, "Well, since you want to know that, why don't you come in and sit down and ask them just for that time? Then you can leave."
Yeah.
Nope. So I got stuck doing that because the entire time he lived here, I did ask them. Ask those people in Finland. I don't even think Finland has hot dogs, but they do, surprisingly. But so I did that for a year and a half, and you guys avoided that. So
Nice.
so I did that for a while, and then when I let's see, was it last year? I launched the website and changed the logo, and kind of started anew. Started anew. You like that word? Anew?
I'm willing to bet if they tied your hands behind your back, you couldn't talk.
Probably not. I'm not a talker. But so but I wanted to do something. I like to have kind of a break in the formal interview, and so I started asking people about landmarks in their area. Like landmarks that aren't like advertised for tourism. Like just weird statues, and like there's Rod, you were on for the very first one.
Boy.
Huh? Turtle Boy, yeah. Let's see, Worcester, Massachusetts. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
I can't say Worcester because that wouldn't be it. You wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's a band up there, very good band called Rose Lane, and in the middle of town, you're gonna pull it up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna pull it. But Rob was on that show with me, and in the middle of town, there's a statue of a boy and his turtle, but not like you think. Yeah, I'll try to. Turn your brightness down a
I think.
tad. Are you blind? It's like I gotta have sunglasses to look at his phone. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can. It's gonna be hard to see it, but there you go.
I thought.
That's what I thought. I mean, it's everything you would think it would be, But so that kind of kicked it off, and I was like, that's hilarious. And then I had a band from Chicago, and there's a shit fountain. It's exactly that. It's a fountain.
Wasn't that like when Dave Matthews Band like dropped their shit on a boat? Wasn't that?
Crossing the bridge.
Yeah.
Yep, nice.
There's the button.
We won't be here all night.
That's just the ongoing shit down.
If you're lucky, right? If you're lucky, we'll be here on it.
They ended up having to pay a shitload of money for that.
Good. They have a shitload of money, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So I did that for a while, and then that kind of just fell off. Just some people just lived in Podunk and didn't have anything in their town. I'm like, there's got to be something,
I mean, with a name like that.
Podunk?
Yeah, I mean, it
I think
sounds.
there is a Podunk like Louisiana. There has to be. It just sounds right,
Sounds like there's nothing there though.
Well, there is Podunk there. But so I did that for a while. But then I was like, you know what? Instead of making it a theme or something specific, how about I just do questions that are about nothing?
I like that.
It's working. So
That's
anyway, but the would you rather questions have really taken off. Sounds like I'm like I don't know. I'm not a radio broadcaster or an advertiser. So, but would you rather's have just been pretty what's the word? Steady. Steady. We'll go with steady. That sounds good. Okay. So you have to pick one of these. Okay, just in these questions. But I don't. I mean, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. I'm not a crook. That's like like Nixon or whatever. Okay. Would you rather your instrument, so like a guitar or something? Would you rather that it can only play polka music all the time, or every time you sing, it sounds like a cat meowing? What do you think?
I mean, I could probably do a pretty good cat, like meow.
I can hear it. Yeah.
Personally, I would do the cat because
Can you practice right now?
You can throw, meow,
There you go. Yes.
You could throw a nice plug-in on there, make it nice and chunky and distorted, and make it sound like a cat from hell.
I think that works. I think ultimately the cat, you can mold a cat noise. You know, like the polka is just polka. I mean, that's a very specific sound.
Yeah.
Cat meow. There's a lot of different meows out there.
I always think
I'd
when
be
I
okay
hear
with that.
polka music, I always think of Home Alone, John Candy when he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the back of the U-Haul.
yeah, like that's.
They
I
had
mean,
to be
if that
sick
was-
as hell when they got out of that thing.
If you expanded that question to like, and you'll be with John Candy, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I might have to do that. Yeah.
so, you can layer up on that one.
That's a good one. It's a good one. What about you, Rob? You're allowed to answer these also because you haven't done this segment yet. Welcome, Rob. You don't want to answer? I'll force you to answer the Dick's question that you'll love. What is it?
Well, I ain't paying no attention. What's the question?
Would you rather your guitar only be able to play polka music all the time, or would you rather just you don't sing, but if you did sing, it'd just be cats meowing, sounding like that?
The cat's meowing.
Yeah, I figured you don't sing anyway though.
I hate polka.
I hate polka. I love polka. Polka's like kielbasa, the way you say it.
Yeah. It just feels bad. It feels gross.
It doesn't feel
saying
right.
It. Yeah.
It feels sloppy.
I mean, aren't they both like from that same space of like the
Polka
earth?
kielbasa?
Like,
Sounds about
Poland-
right.
Poland-
Germany, I
they're
think,
both like
right?
Poland, German.
Yeah.
Wherever Weird Al's from.
yeah. Weird Al. He's weird. All right. Would you rather have perfect pitch but no sense of rhythm, or perfect rhythm with no sense of pitch?
Rhythm.
Yeah. I already had that, so that works.
Yeah, rhythm.
Yeah, I don't have any pitch. I don't have any pitch ability, so that's good. I think rhythm. I'll stick with what I have.
Yeah. I don't know, you can hear like a famous, like a more popular song where the person's got an amazing voice, but they're so offbeat, and it's
Annoying.
Yeah, it's so hard to listen to, and I don't know. It's just
It seems like everybody that goes on American Idol
yeah,
has
pretty
that
much.
exact problem. Yeah.
100% rhythm, and there's
Or any karaoke bar you go into.
It reminds me of an oddly specific pet peeve of mine, which is whenever somebody is singing along to a song in a movie, they never sing it in time with the song. And I'm like, what is that? And I know maybe it's editing, maybe it's that they
Yeah.
edited it wrong, but like, how is the editor not noticing this? Like, there's a problem. Like, why is it? It makes no sense. Nobody's that bad at singing along to a song. Or maybe they are. I don't know.
But maybe they are, yeah. Maybe they're just that bad. They're so bad that nobody sees the problem. You
They
know?
all sound like a drunk uncle trying to sing along to their favorite song, supposedly.
yeah.
But it's the best time in the world, and he's so good at it, you know? Him and his eggnog. I just picture eggnog for some reason. Drunk uncle. Would you rather know exactly when you die or how? That's kind of a toughie. Toughie.
we're not gonna die.
Yeah, it doesn't.
We don't die.
They're not humans.
But
Well, nobody.
I don't know.
I don't think you really die anyway. You know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say when.
I would say when, because how is likely that it's just going to be that your heart stops. So
I would say when. Yeah.
yeah.
because Then if you know how, then you can change that.
you could think about it too. You could imagine.
Yeah, you'd be
it.
like, all right, I gotta prep for this. I'm gonna get stabbed in the face.
Like, I'd rather not have dreams about
face
the
shield.
experience where
Yeah.
you can't reminisce or dream about the moment it happens. You can only think about the thing. So I'd rather not. Yeah, I'd rather just know it's going to happen on this date.
On
so be
Tuesday.
it.
It's probably a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think it would, or Wednesday even, hump day.
Wonder what
when
day
you
has
least
the
suspect-
most deaths on average.
Yeah, I mean, every time I do this segment, it gets very specific, and it's so funny. Like it's like, because usually people are asking me like extensions to the question. Well, what if is it like this? I'm like, no, it's not. It's exactly the way I asked you the question. I get pissed off about it every once in a while. I'm like, listen, that's the question. That's it. There's no, but you know, I like how because when you sit and think about these things, it's like, well, but if you know, that's where it gets interesting. You know,
I like the when because then you could just prepare.
that's
Just
true. Yeah.
Preparation.
Then you can get your affairs in order.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Get a whip.
But you'd be so focused on that end date that you wouldn't really live.
Depends. It depends on
That's-
how long it is away. If it's like a week away, yeah, I'm probably just gonna be
I don't know. I think I'd rather know how because I wouldn't want to know when.
Oh,
No.
Live each day to the
I
fullest.
don't know how.
crazy shit on ChatGPT says that January
it's
1st,
bastards.
January 1st, New Year's Day, is notorious to show the most records of deaths from natural causes.
People are freaking
Natural
themselves
cause.
out. Probably, like
I would-
freaking out.
Happy
Dying
New
of
Year's.
freaking out. Yeah. The resolutions. I'm never gonna get that done.
Well, you add in suicides on
Suicides for sure. Yeah.
New Year's
Um,
Eve, and
Speaking of like stabbings and people killing themselves and things, have they gotten the subways under control in New York City? Because it seems like every day there's somebody being attacked or
Yeah, but like that's the kind of like
being
the
thrown in front of them. What is with that?
They
They should have done that a long time ago. That's better than a stabbing. I mean, I'm not praising it or anything. I'm just saying, don't take any of this to heart. Trust me. But like, I'm just saying, like you would think that that's the first thing you would do if you wanted to off somebody. Throw them in front of it.
Yeah, I mean that's the messiest way.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to clean it up because you're running away. You would think.
Like you'd get some sort of splashback by doing that though.
You would. I mean, that'd be the best option.
I would maybe do half of them in front of the train and then the rest on the platform, so you can watch them.
So you would be a serial killer, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
If you're going to do one, you might as well do it.
I'm just trying to follow up to the next question, which I'm assuming is going to be something else.
I just had. I mean, you're from that area, so I assume you probably get a little bit more news than. All the news is fake anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
them subways ain't. Look, they ain't-
Subways are real though.
When I go on the subway, I usually just crawl on my hands and knees so nobody can push me.
Or wear a helmet. Maybe wear a helmet. That'd be good.
I just
Slide on the
I
floor
get on
like
my
a
hands and
turtle.
knees. And if
Like a
somebody-
salamander.
If somebody comes up to me, I just like do like a what is that a crocodile roll, the death roll.
Sure. Yeah.
Do that until they back away.
They
Oh,
have this on Grindr, I think. Crocodile roll. That'd be a cool song for like a band that's like an AC/DC cover band.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like this is our original crocodile roll, and everyone's like, "We're gonna leave now."
Everybody's dressed like Crocodile Dundee that's in the band.
I think we should make a song called Crocodile Roll now.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. You guys want to collab? You want to
Wow.
collab? You want to collab? Let's collab. You know?
You know what I like
John
about the
did a
idea
crocodile
is
song, didn't he?
What is it?
Didn't Elton John do a crocodile?
I'm sure he
Crocodile
did.
Rock? Yeah.
Something about his butt, I think, is what it was.
crocodile tears.
Sean.
Yeah.
Would you rather have the ability to read minds or the ability to become invisible, or to be invisible, I guess, if you will?
You keep asking questions that I already have one of the skills.
Oh, well, that's. I mean, then you're good.
Yeah.
I promise you, though, in a minute, you don't have. I mean, you might, but anyway, go ahead. What do you think?
I mean, I'm a mind reader for sure. That's my go-to.
I do. I think being invisible would be cool because reading minds would probably get tiring after a while. Just like too much information.
And things you don't want to know, too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, just the
I'm a
level.
nosy Susan, though.
Nosy twos.
The level of dumb in people are. Yeah, that would
no,
get everyone.
It would be very annoying after.
It would be shock. It would be hard to. It would be shocking, probably some of the things people are thinking about while you're trying to talk to
Well, you
them.
ever see the movie What Women Want?
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Great movie. The
That
guy,
would be golden, though.
and
That
then
would
he's
be
still
golden.
rich in that movie. Like he's reading minds and he's rich. He's gonna
Yeah. That never happens.
Not invisible.
Never happens. That's
I
not
don't
that.
have to read minds. All you got to do is like
Be rich.
just look at a paint can when it says "Do not eat." You know?
No, I'd still eat it.
I mean, that
Taste it at
tells
least,
the
you know.
level of everything.
I'm paying.
Give it a taste.
As it used to. Yeah.
Give it a taste. It's not gonna hurt you.
Oh, then feed it to your family then.
Paint chips is the way to go. Though it's cleaner that way. I hear.
I agree.
I agree. All right, here's the question of the night. And Rob, this is also for you.
Okay.
Would you rather have dicks for fingers, or never be able to taste anything ever again?
Let's break this one up.
Yeah, you can have a huddle up. Yeah, well, do bum bum ba ba zappa ba ba
Well, I'll
ba.
just jump the gun.
All right, what's the answer?
I would never want to taste anything again.
Oh, damn it, you're so boring. What do you guys got?
Go ahead. You can let him know.
6 for fingers.
Okay, now I need to know why because a lot of people choose this, but they have different reasons.
Really?
I think.
I know it's shocking, isn't it?
I guess.
So you could be like, ooh.
So you can.
Suspense. The suspense.
You know, like you go into the deli and you're like, oh, your order's up. You're like, oh, thank you. Ooh. And they're like, oh, God, what the fuck? Take your food. Get out of here. Like, what the fuck is going on with you?
I think Rob just. Rob's not a laugher.
We got him. He
His face is red. He's crying.
That's good
actually
shit.
Dave. We
As hell.
Well, see people always ask a lot of questions to this question. You know,
well, I have questions,
Okay,
but I
all
think I'm trying to take it at face value. Because I don't want to
Yeah,
be
dick
difficult.
value.
So my
dick
thing-
value.
I think the reason I would like to have dicks for fingers is because I don't really want to have to cut my nails anymore. So that's
Hey, no, that's
easy.
That's a win-win there.
Like that. Nothing's worse than cutting your nail too short and you get to the cuticle.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, you don't
see,
want that.
that is an astute observation. I just
very astute. Stutual.
Are we circumcising all 10 though? That's like kind of rough.
See, I don't. That's what I'm like. I feel like I need to have this. I need to get on Grinder and explain this question.
Yes.
yeah, that makes you think.
I will consult
would they
the
be
expert.
functioning penises? Like
Well, that's okay. So
eating and
Internal Shadow was on. They're from Wilmington, North Carolina, and they get the most. They were going on and on and on. I didn't even get to any other questions. It was so much expansion,
Would your
so much
finger-
growth of this question. You know
would
what I
your
mean?
fingers get erections?
That's what I mean. So I came up with a solution for this. Now, let's say they can be aroused, right? So if you need them to be stiff, if you will, you eat Cheetos, and then everybody licks the dust off of your fingers when you're done. So that's how. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Which would lead you to like what they're limp.
Well, they're limp to begin with, yes. So you eat Cheetos and you lick your fingers, and then
How about
boom,
we Cheetos
ready to go.
with
Like
limp?
that's a negative though, right? Because if you're just trying to eat Cheetos in a Panera and then you
Choking
start getting a
hazard.
boner on your hand, you're like, fuck,
No, it's for everyone.
everybody gets to lick their hands.
Maybe. I mean, if
Fingers crossed.
get in line, Tell them to get in
$5
line.
discount.
But, wait. No, wait, that's the wrong one. There it is. Wait, see, I got dicks for fingers over here. I'm trying to press buttons.
It's a whole other series of questions.
I mean, it could go on and on and on. Do you know what gherkins are?
Gherkins, like the pickles.
pickles.
Yes, you know what those are.
Yeah.
Okay, how many mini ones can you fit in your mouth at one time?
You don't even want to know.
How big are
You
they?
don't want to
What they
know.
look
I just feel like that was a good transition question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fit them all in my mouth because I just swallow all of them.
Yeah, they just keep going
Whole?
It's just one line of pickles going in.
down the hatch.
I don't have time. I'm in New York.
Yeah, you got music to make.
I got stuff to do. I can't. Just
You're not
eat
an eater.
pickles.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. How am I supposed to sing with a bunch of pickles in my mouth?
I'm eating
And then
over
with
here.
dick fingers, there's no way I'm going to be doing that.
And you don't want to be a biter. You know what I mean?
No. You definitely don't want to do that. No, the gherkin people would get really pissed off.
Little teeth's okay.
Don't be jerking your gherkin. Isn't that what people say? I don't know. You want one more?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's do the. This is. I have to ask everybody this one because it's kind of like the not the dicks one, the other one. It's kind of like that one. No, it's kind of like more of a serious thing than a funny thing. So, would you rather lose all of your memories, or never be able to create new ones?
Ooh.
Yeah. I'll give you some time.
And everything else that we just talked about, it doesn't exist, right? Finger dicks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll say at this point, right now, you lose everything memories you made in the past, but you be able to create new ones.
I'm happy with my memories. I'd be okay with not
Not making any more memories then.
Yeah, I feel like I'm all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to keep them.
Yeah.
Sometimes your memories could be bad ones too. So like,
Yeah.
if you just grab what you got and you're like, all right, I know there's gonna be good ones too, but like maybe just hang on to the ones you got already, and you will never have to have a bad memory ever again.
I think that's what it comes down to. It comes down to an individual's past.
Right.
You know, whatever, there might be something so traumatic in your past that you want to forget, and I think that's where they would go with the question. They would want to create. I don't know. That's just, I'm kind of on the fence with that question because it's one of those questions. It's like what would you want to lose? What are you willing to give up for?
Yeah.
You know,
I think giving up the unknown is better than giving up the things I know.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you want it, unless you need to get rid of stuff. I guess.
Right.
It wouldn't work in our case because then we would have no memories. We would write music and then not know what the fuck we wrote.
But you would have dick fingers though.
right.
And we keep going every day we wake up. We're like, why do I have these?
And then they get harder, and you're like, "Oh, not you again!" Right?
Why did they? Yeah, why is this happening? Like, why is? I don't
I'm not
remember
even
why I
excited.
have this. I just have them now.
I don't even feel excited. How are you excited? You know, like,
Yeah.
Every morning to
can we not do this here? Right?
I mean, it worked for Drew Barrymore in 50 First Dates. You know?
Well,
She had a kid.
But she only had one dick, and it was Adam Sandler's.
She woke up every day and she was just like, I'm pregnant every day.
I feel like you guys need to write a song about this to be able to fully understand.
Yeah.
Just call it Dick Fingers, yeah.
Yeah.
Gherkins.
I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody's. There, people are going crazy. It's mostly Darlene. Is she a
It's just
talker?
my wife trolling me. That's all it
Is she a
is.
talk? It sounds like she would be a talker.
Yeah, she doesn't.
No,
actually-
she's super
she doesn't-
quiet.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever talk, or is this her time to shine?
Talks. Yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
She figures out ways to.
She talks.
Well, now you get to show her your dick fingers. You know?
I can't wait to go home.
Yeah, I can't wait to go home. Oh man, this is great. You
I
guys
won't
are
even open the
shit.
door. I'll just slap it against the door and go.
Slap, or you're just gonna be like slap it high, right?
Like I just heard a dick hit the door. Is everything okay? I heard.
No,
fire.
that's just Richard. He's fine. That's just.
yeah.
I just sound like
Oh,
a
man.
pile.
Yeah. I heard a pile of dicks at the door before.
All right, I always give the guests like however much time they need at the end. I mute my microphone and tell everybody where they can get your music. If you have a website up, TikToks and all that crap, just let everybody know where they can find you. And I will mute Rob also because I'm sure he'll cough or something. So, go.
We got our YouTube channel that we're trying to get more traffic to for sure. It's We're Not Doctors Presents. We got our music videos on there, sketch comedy stuff. We're Not Doctors on Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms. We're on Instagram, We're Not Doctors Music.
TikTok.
TikTok also, We're Not Doctors Music. And yeah, we're releasing a new song in 2 weeks, April 22nd. And yeah,
And music video.
and a music video to go along with that one as well. Yes, that's working on it now.
Nice. I'm ready. I'm ready. What's the song called? Can you tell us that yet?
It's called Radical Modulator,
Wow. Okay.
and it sounds exactly like how the title sounds.
Nice. I can only imagine. Like, I mean, that sounds very a lot of digital sound, a lot of electronic sounds. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yep.
Mm.
A little bit of polka, but you know,
Well, you don't want to give too much away. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
What? So when does that come out again?
April
22nd.
22nd.
22nd. What was that question you had? Is there a chance you guys can play this live? Do you have aspirations to go out and play?
We are in the process of configuring that out because initially when we started this thing, we were saying like, let's just do what we're doing and having fun releasing music and all that content. Don't worry about any of the other shit that gets you stressed out or whatever. But then because we've gotten a lot of good feedback and we're both performers essentially. We've been in bands, we played live many, many times.
True, yeah.
And so we're very interested to know how this will sound live, and we're working on configuring that out now. So hopefully,
And you probably know musicians from the bands that you played in. So if you do need extras,
Yeah,
yep, exactly.
there are ways.
I have some good friends up in Yonkers. That's probably kind of far a little bit, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe.
about an hour out from us.
They're called Maintenance. Look them up. Maintenance. I can link you up on Instagram with them. They've been kind of quiet lately. I think they kind of took a break. They were doing some touring and things, and just kind of take a little bit of a breather. You know what I mean? Dick fingers and all. You know. But I did finally get to meet them in person. They came on as a guest, and they've been on it a few times, and they came down and we played a show with them locally here, and it was badass to meet and hang out with them and afterwards and stuff. But you guys could meet up and maybe play a show together. Once you get to that point. But I think you're very close to it. I wouldn't hesitate to take it out and let people hear it. More. Other than on platforms. Like.
Yeah.
I would love to come up. I need to come to go to Yonkers and see them, and I know there's some other people around that area that I'd love to go visit. So we're gonna have to. I'll put you on the list. We're gonna have to meet up and talk about this dick finger thing in person.
Yeah.
If we have a show, we'll definitely
Stories.
send an invite directly. We'll say
Awesome. You'll
come
go
up.
up with me. Rob loves to drive. We went recently. We went. What was it? February. We went to. We drove to Houston, Texas from here, 19 and a half hours. Well, he drove most. I drove for like an hour and a half. He drove the rest of the way. Long. I flew home, and he. Well, you went over to Florida for a little bit, and he did some. Went saw some family, and then he came back home. But I flew home like the next within what, like
12 hours.
within 12 hours, I was home chilling. I have a podcast to run. I don't have a lot of time to travel. I mean, I do travel, but yeah. I do have something really cool coming up this summer that I just got confirmed. Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. On my way to Pittsburgh to see a show, it was confirmed then. August 2nd is when this thing will take place, but July 30th is the 5-year anniversary of this show, which is freaking crazy.
Cool.
Crazy. You guys are episode 336. So there's been several of these, and they truly are badass, like all of them, because it's awesome to meet people from everywhere. I've had 27 different countries on. Almost all the United States have been represented. It's freaking nuts. Awesome. The amount of just everybody's talented in their own way, and it's the way they explain. I mean, I could go on and on about it, like different things about the show, but it's been crazy. Yeah, and it's been surreal. And at times, I've met people that I didn't ever think I'd meet in person, and I've made some really good friends on here. But anyway, we're gonna celebrate. I wanted to do something in person for people that live nearby or who can travel here, and so we confirmed a spot in my hometown of Clarksburg, which is just south of here. It's called Jacoby's, and August 2nd we will celebrate with hopefully about 5 or 6 bands. Our band will play. I don't want to say any of the other bands just because we haven't confirmed them yet, but yeah, it will happen. And I was so worried about that because venues are tough around here, and we don't have a lot. We do have good venues, but they're tough to get into. They have a lot of national acts coming through town, and it's just it's hard to nail something like this down. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be the shit, and of course I'll post up on Instagram and stuff whenever I know more. Like who and things, but so that's badass. So thank you guys for being a part of this.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
and it's so much fun. We'll meet in person, I'm sure. It's very we're not that far away from each other. We're on the same coast.
Yeah,
that's positive.
Yeah.
We share the same coast, and I haven't been up that way. I've never even been in New York City.
Okay.
I've been to like Scranton, and I've been in New York, like the Adirondacks and stuff. I had some time up there hiking and things, and that was badass. Yeah. So I've been to like Niagara Falls and shit like that. I think everybody's been to Niagara Falls.
I haven't.
I went once.
I've never seen the Statue of Liberty.
Well, me neither.
Ever seen it?
I've never seen it.
You don't even know what it looks like?
It's a girl?
Okay.
It's cause something like this, or like this maybe.
You're
like dabbing. I think she dabs. Can you dab? Or no, is it like that? Is that how? I don't even know how the kids do it these days. I just know how to do the Macarena. You know what I mean?
She's like something like this.
I still can't do that. I try and I just can't do it. Can you do it, Rob? You can do the thing where the thumb separates from the thumb.
Oh, the thing.
I can't.
I don't know how to do it.
I think
I can levitate, but I can't do it right now.
Got it.
I did it wrong. I think I did it at the wrong angle.
He has a
Look at this, kids. Look at this, kids. This is more exciting than Invisible Rob. Mm-hmm.
I used to love doing weird hand I used to want to be a magician when I was like 7 years old. So I was like, I was into illusions.
But good. I like those. He's an illusion.
He was, yeah.
Was an illusion, yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome, Darlene. You should say that. You're welcome. Here I am. I am Rob. Bert.
I am Rob.
What was it, Josh? When we were on the show, when Tom is interviewing us on this show, Josh, out of nowhere, Josh goes, "I don't even know your last name," and I was like, "Bert, Rob Bert."
I mean,
It's what, Dick Fingers?
whatever.
Dick Fingers.
No.
Grinder? Okay. All right. So April 22nd, we can expect a video. We can expect a new song called Rattle. What was it called?
Radical Modulator. Man. Or you can say Rad Mod for short.
Rad Mod. Okay.
Dad Bod, Rad Mod.
Is there anything for short for We're Not Doctors?
WND.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
That's
Okay.
it.
I like saying We're Not Doctors because that means, but I feel like I need to stand in a group.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about it is We're Not Doctors has less syllables than WND, so I'm like, it's just better off that we just say the full name.
Quicker. Yeah, it's quicker. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste time. You got things to do, like write more music,
That's right.
I forgot to ask you where you came up with the name, but I guess we kind of just nailed it.
I mean, we just had a list.
Or did we talk
of,
about it?
We had a list of like 40 ideas, and we just kept thumbing up and thumbing down until.
What were the shittiest ones? What were the shittiest ones? I'm sure there was a few.
Radical modulator. I don't know, man.
Rat tail.
Rat tail.
Scum bucket.
We have a lot of those around here. You know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Right here. Subway murder.
Squeamer? Is that what you said?
Subway murder.
Subway murder. Oh, that sounds like a Christian band.
Yeah.
Crocodile death roll.
Yeah, but there's so many.
Opened up for Creed.
Creed sucks. I have so many stories about. Yes, Rob. The thing's gonna be very easy to change tonight. Would you do the honors? Because the band's called I, and so all you have to do is take off "We're Not Doctors" and change the 6 to. Okay, I'll do it. He hasn't done it for a long time. He's the one that destroyed the other one, but he didn't do it on purpose. Because it was behind the office chair when we had that room, and he would always sit in that chair and would just back up, and every time he'd back up, just squash.
Oh, yeah,
every time. Remember, I had parts of it on the wall, like for it's a trophy. I don't even I think I threw it. I think I ended up burning it actually. It's whatever. Yeah, I sacrificed. I mean, it was. I prayed about it, and then I burned it. Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you all for chatting too. It's very nice. I didn't read everything, but I do leave. The chat replay, so you guys will be able to watch this again and see the chat as it happens.
Well,
I'll always leave that up there.
Darlene has said her son is going to say dick fingers for a while.
That's good. He learned something then.
Nice.
Damn
Can't
it.
wait to go home.
That's exactly. See,
You're welcome.
that's the point of this show. People learn from it. little sick, little. Well, no. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Thank you guys so much for being on. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Come back again. I can do premieres. I'm usually up all night for the most part until the birds chirp. So if you want to do a midnight release, something releases at midnight, you guys want to do a premiere, we can do that stuff and talk about it and what Dick Fingers, we can whatever. If you have questions about Dick Fingers and you just can't figure it out, hit me up.
Sounds good.
Or hit Rob up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the music's terrific. I can't wait to hear what you got coming up. And keep it up, keep doing it, and take it out, take it out of the garage or whatever, and let people hear it, play it live.
Yeah.
Play it live. It's good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll be back on Thursdays. Is Thursday the 10th? Look real quick. You're the one with the phone in thy hand. And the dick fingers.
Thursday is the 10th, yeah.
Thank you. Thursday at 10 p.m. because the band is in L.A. They wanted to do the show at 7.
Thursday is the 10th.
Thank you, Rob. So cheesy. Oh man, you're fired. By the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Finally,
Christ,
I'm taking you off the schedule. Something. I'm not even on the schedule. Yeah, there's a band from LA on Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. If you're over that way, they're called I. Not like that, but like the letter I. So
Perfect. I like that.
Tune in for that. I have a very easy job doing this tonight with the thing. So if you guys have 5 minutes, I'll give you a formal goodbye when we quit the live stream. If you have time, if you don't have time, I completely understand. I will just bother you about not doing that. Kidding. Rob, thanks for whatever you did. You're very welcome. He said, "Oh man." I was in Pittsburgh on Saturday, and I saw this crazy band called the Jaded Lips. And hopefully they will come on the show soon. They're a very good band, and we will listen to their song "Shallow Woman" on the way out. Thank you guys so much again. Come back.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'll see you all Thursday at 10 with I. Or you. Or I. All right.
We're